She looked at me like I was supposed to stop her. I didn't. And that was the biggest mistake of my life. Chapter 1. The Day She Chose Him. People at Westbridge High had a way of turning rumors into legends. And if there was one legend everyone agreed on, it was Emily Carter, the school beauty. Perfect grades, perfect smile, perfect life. Or at least, that's what it looked like from the outside. I never believed in perfect things. Emily and I weren't exactly friends. We were something undefined. We sat next to each other in chemistry class for 2 years. Shared notes, exchanged sarcastic comments, and sometimes on quiet afternoons talked about things that felt too real for high school. She once told me, "You're the only one who doesn't look at me like I'm something to win." I didn't respond. I didn't need to. That's why it didn't make sense when I saw her standing by the lockers that morning, laughing with Jason Miller. Jason, the guy everyone admired, but no one really knew. Istar Etli. Clean reputation. To clean, if you asked me. And then I heard it. They're together now. The word spread like wildfire. By lunch, it was official. Emily Carter had a boyfriend. I didn't care. At least, that's what I told myself. But then she found me. "Hey," she said, her voice softer than usual. I looked up from my phone. Hey. There was something off about her. Her smile was there, but it didn't reach her eyes. "You heard?" she asked. "Yeah, congratulations." I expected her to smile, maybe tease me. Instead, she just stared at me, waiting. For what? Silence stretched between us, heavy and uncomfortable. "Well," she pushed. "Well, what? Aren't you going to say anything else?" I shrugged. "What do you want me to say? You got a boyfriend. It's your life." Her expression flickered disappointment. Frustration. "I thought you'd..." She trailed off. "Thought I'd what?" I asked, finally meeting her eyes. "Nothing," she said quickly. "Forget it." But she didn't leave. Instead, she leaned closer, her voice dropping to a whisper. "You don't think something's wrong?" I frowned. "With what?" "With him." I let out a short laugh. "You're asking me. You chose him." "I know, but..." She hesitated, glancing over her shoulder. Jason was standing at the end of the hallway, watching us. "Watching me." "There's just something off," she said. I followed her gaze. Jason smiled. It looked normal. "Tout normal." "Then break up with him," I said bluntly. She looked back at me, almost desperate. "It's not that simple." "It usually is." "You don't understand." "Then explain it." She opened her mouth, but no words came out. Instead, she stepped back, putting distance between us. "I thought you'd stop me," she said quietly. "That caught me off guard." "Stop you from what?" "Making a mistake." I stared at her for a second, then shook my head. "If you think dating a guy is a mistake," I said. My tone flat. "You should get your head checked." Her face went pale. For a moment, I thought she might say something, argue, defend herself, anything. But she didn't. She just nodded slowly. "Maybe you're right," she whispered. Then she turned and walked straight to Jason. He wrapped an arm around her like he'd been waiting for it. and as they walked away, he glanced back at me again. This time, he wasn't smiling. That was the moment I realized something I couldn't explain. Emily wasn't waiting for me to stop her. She was warning me. Chapter 2. The Boyfriend Who Watches. I tried to forget about it. Really, I did. After that hallway conversation, I told myself Emily's weird behavior was just nerves. New relationship, pressure, expectations, it happens. People overthink. People act strange. But something about the way she said, "I thought you'd stop me," kept replaying in my head. And worse, the way Jason looked at me. Jealous. Annoyed. Calculated. The next few days at Westbridge, I felt. It started small. Emily stopped sitting next to me in chemistry. That seat stayed empty, even though the class was full. When I asked the teacher, he said she requested a change. No explanation. At lunch, she sat with Jason and his group louder. Flashier people she used to avoid. She laughed at their jokes, but every now and then, I'd catch her staring at nothing, like she forgot where she was. And Jason. Jason watched everything. Not just Emily. Everyone. But especially me. It wasn't obvious. If you weren't paying attention, you'd miss it. A glunzeri. A pause there. Like he was measuring something. One afternoon, I decided to test it. I left school early and took a longer route home-cutting through the back streets instead of the main road. It was quiet, almost empty. For 10 minutes, nothing happened. Then I heard footsteps. Steady, not rushed. Following. I didn't turn around. I just kept walking, pretending not to notice. The footsteps matched mine, slowing when I slowed, stopping when I stopped. My chest tightened. Finally, I stopped completely. Silence. I turned. No Juan. Empty street. I exhaled, half laughing at myself. You're imagining things, I muttered. Then I saw it. Across the street, parked between two trees, a black car. Engine off. Windows tinted. And in the driver's seat, a silhouette. It's you. Watching. My stomach dropped. I stepped closer, trying to get a better look. The moment I moved, the car started. Engine roaring to life, it pulled away fast, disappearing around the corner before I could even react. I stood there for a long time, heart pounding. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every sound felt louder. Every shadow looked wrong. H213 my phone bast. A known number. I stared at the screen before opening the message. Stop noticing things. That was it. No name, no explanation. Just that. I typed back, "Who is this?" 3 dots appeared. Then disappeared. No reply. The next morning, I went to school early. I needed answers. I found Emily by her locker, alone for once. She looked tired, dark circles under her eyes. Her usual glow faded. "Emily," I said. She flinched. Actually flinched. When she saw it was me, she forced a smile. "Hey! We need to talk." Her eyes darted around the hallway. "Eddie." "Then where?" She hesitated, then whispered, "After school." "All Jim. Now that's fini." Before I could say anything else, a hand landed on my shoulder. Firm. Heavy. I didn't need to turn around to know who it was. Jason. "Everything okay here?" he asked, his voice calm. Tom. I shrugged his hand off. Yeah, just talking. Jason smiled, but his eyes stayed cold. Good, he said. Because Emily doesn't like stress. Emily didn't say anything. She just stood there. Quiet. Like she was waiting for permission to breathe. Jason leaned in slightly, his voice dropping just enough for me to hear. Some things, he said, are better left alone. Then he walked away. Emily didn't follow immediately. For a split second, she looked at me really looked. And I saw it. Fear. Not confusion. Not doubt. Fear. After school, she whispered again. Then she turned and went after him. I watched them walk down the hallway together. Perfect couple. Perfect image. Perfectili. And for the first time, I realized something even worse than being watched. I was already involved. Chapter 3. The Old Gym Truth. The old gym sat behind Westbridge High like something the school had tried to forget. Peeling paint. Rusted doors. Windows covered in dust so thick they barely let in light. It had been closed for years, after some renovation issue. But no one ever touched it again. Students avoided it not because of rules, but because it felt wrong, which made it the perfect place to talk. I got there early. 4:12 Policial Militar. The sun was already dipping, casting long shadows across the cracked concrete. I pushed the side door open. It creaked loud enough to echo inside. Empty. The air smelled stale, like time had stopped in there. I walked toward the center of the court, shoes crunching on debris. Old bleachers loomed in the darkness, half collapsed. 4:19 Policial Militar. No sign of Emily. I checked my phone. No messages. A thought crept in. What if this is a setup? Before I could leave, the door behind me creaked again. I turned. Emily stepped in quickly and shut the door behind her, almost like she was afraid someone might see. You came, I said. Of course I came, she replied, her voice shaky. We don't have much time. That wasn't comforting. I crossed my arms. Then start talking. She took a deep breath, trying to steady herself. Jason isn't who you think he is. I raised an eyebrow. That's not exactly breaking news. No, you don't understand, she insisted, stepping closer. He knows things. About me, about you. My expression hardened. What kind of things? She hesitated. Personal things, she said finally. Things I never told anyone. Like what? Her eyes flicked toward the door again before she answered. Conversations, she whispered. Things we said. In private. A chill ran down my spine. That's not possible, I said. Unless you told him. I didn't. She snapped, then immediately lowered her voice. I didn't. That's the problem. I stared at her, trying to read if this was fear or paranoia. Okay, I said slowly. Let's say I believe you. Why are you still with him? Her face went pale again. Because I tried to leave. Silence. And I asked. Her hands trembled slightly. He showed me something, she said. What? She swallowed hard. A video. What kind of video? She looked at me, and for a second, I saw something close to panic. A video of me, she said. In my room. Tonight. My stomach dropped. That's not possible, I repeated, but this time it sounded weaker. I thought so too. she said. Until he played it. I ran a hand through my hair. Hidden cameras? Someone spying? That's? It's not just me, she cut in. He knows things about other people too. Secrets. Things no one should know. Then go to the police. She laughed bitterly. And say what? That my boyfriend knows too much. I didn't have an answer for that. The gym felt colder. Why me? I asked after a moment. Why tell me all this now? Her eyes locked onto mine. Because you're the only one he hasn't broken yet. That hit harder than I expected. And because, she added quietly, he's interested in you. A loud bang echoed from somewhere in the gym. Both of us froze. Did you hear that? I whispered. Emily nodded slowly, her face drained of color. Another sound. Footsteps. Not from the door. From side. From the bleachers. I turned toward the darkness. Hello? Caldauci. No response. Just silence. Then, a phone screen lit up in the shadows. Someone was there. Standing still. Watching us. My heart started pounding. Jason, I said, my voice tight. The figure didn't move. Didn't speak. But the screen turned slightly. Facing us. Recording. Emily grabbed my arm. We have to go. Now. But as we backed toward the door, the figure finally stepped forward. Not Jason. Someone else. Someone we both recognized. And that's when everything got worse. Chapter 4. The girl in the video. For a second, my brain refused to process what I was seeing. No, I said under my breath. Emily's grip on my arm tightened painfully. That's not possible. But it was. Standing at the edge of the bleachers, phone still raised, recording us. Was Emily. Fussy. Same clothes. Same expression. Perfect. I turned to the Emily beside me. Then back to the one in the shadows. Okay, I muttered, trying to stay calm. This isn't funny. No one's joking, the girl in the shadows said. Same voice. Not similar. Identical. My pulse spiked. What is this? Twins. Some kind of setup. The second Emily stepped forward into the dim light. No hesitation. There. Only throw. You're asking the wrong questions, she said. I looked at the Emily next to me again. She looked like she was about to collapse. Tell me you see this, I said. I see it, she whispered. I've seen it before. That made my stomach twist. Before. She nodded slowly. That's what I was trying to tell you. The other Emily smiled faintly. She wasn't supposed to, she said. I stepped in front of the Emily I knew, putting distance between her and whatever that thing was. Start talking, I said, my voice sharper now. Both of you. The one behind me didn't speak. The one in front did. My name isn't Emily, she said. Silence filled the gym like a pressure wave. I blinked. Yeah, okay. Then what is this? A copy, she replied calmly. Of what? Her. She tilted her head toward the real Emily behind me. I let out a short, disbelieving laugh. A copy of a person? You think I'm going to believe that? You already do, she said. And the worst part, a small part of me did. Because nothing about this felt fake. Jason created me, she continued. That name hit like a trigger. Created. I repeated. What is he? Some kind of... He watches people. She cut in. Learns them. Records everything. Habits. Speech. Reactions. That doesn't make a copy, I said. It does if you remove the original. The words landed heavy. I turned slowly to the real Emily. What does she mean? Her lips trembled. I saw one before, she said. A week ago. It looked like me, but different. Like it knew things I hadn't done yet. And you stayed with him? I snapped. I didn't have a choice. She shot you back. The other, Emily, took another step forward. You're both missing the point, she said. Then explain it, I said. Her eyes shifted to me. You're next. Silence. Cold, absolute silence. I felt it in my chest. Next for what? She didn't answer directly. Instead, she turned her phone around. On screen, a video of me in my room. Last night, I stopped breathing. That's not possible, I whispered. You said that before, she replied. My mind raced. Doors locked. Curtains closed. No cameras. No way. You see now? She continued softly. It's not about watching. It's about replacing. Behind me, the real Emily let out a shaky breath. He told me the same thing. I clenched my fists. Why? What does he want? The copy smiled. To make perfect versions, she said. Versions that don't hesitate. Don't doubt. Don't resist. I took a step back without realizing it. And the originals? I asked. For the first time. She hesitated. Then she said it. They're not needed. A loud creak echoed near the entrance. All three of us turned. The gym door slowly opened. And there's Jimmy. It was Jason. He stepped inside like he owned the place, hands in his pockets, calm as ever. His eyes moved between us. Tre piopli. Two identical. One confused. He smiled. I was wondering, he said casually, how long it would take you to figure it out. My jaw tightened. You're sick. Not really, he replied. Just ahead. Emily stepped behind me again. Stay away from us. Jason chuckled softly. That's the thing, he said. You don't get a say anymore. He pulled out his phone, tapped the screen, and suddenly, every light in the gym flickered on. Blinding. Overwhelming. I raised my arm to shield my eyes. And when I looked back, the copy was gone. Vanished. Like she was never there. Only me. Emily. And Jason. Standing in a place that suddenly didn't feel abandoned at all. It felt controlled. And we were right in the center of it. Chapter 5. The version that stayed. The lights kept buzzing overhead. Tarai. Toklin. This wasn't an abandoned gym anymore. It was a stage. And we were already in the middle of the show. I didn't move my eyes off Jason. Where did she go? Jason tilted his head slightly, like he was considering whether I deserved an answer. She didn't go anywhere, he said. You just can't see her right now. That's not how reality works. He smiled. That's exactly how it works. You just didn't notice before. Emily's fingers tightened around my sleeve. I could feel her shaking. Please, she whispered, barely audible. Don't listen to him. Jason's gaze shifted to her, amused. You're still trying to warn him. I'm trying to stop you, she shot back, though her voice lacked strength. You can't stop something you already agreed to, he replied. I frowned. Agreed to what? Jason looked at me again, and for the first time, something in his expression changed. Not arrogance. Not control. Certainty. You think this started when she chose me, he said. It didn't. A cold feeling crept up my spine. When? I asked. When you started noticing her. That made no sense. What does that even mean? It means, he said calmly, you were part of the process long before today. Emily shook her head quickly. He's lying. But Jason ignored her. Do you remember? He continued. The first time you thought Emily wasn't like everyone else. I stayed silent. Of course you do, he said. Because that's when the system marked you. My jaw tightened. Stop talking like that. Like what? Like this to bigger than you. He took a step closer. You think I randomly picked people? No, I said. I think you're insane. Insane people don't build things this precise. He raised his phone again. My chest tightened instinctively. Let me show you something, he said. No, Emily started, but it was too late. He tapped the screen, and my phone buzzed in my pocket. Slowly, I pulled it out. A video. Already playing. It wasn't from last night. Was there? Weeks old. Me and Emily. In chemistry class. Talking. Laughing. Normal. Except the camera angle. It wasn't from the front. It wasn't from the side. It was from behind me. From my own seat. My hands started to shake. That's not possible, I whispered. Jason's voice cut in, calm and steady. It is, if the person sitting there wasn't always you. My head snapped up. What? Emily stepped back, staring at me now, not Jason. Sit me. No, she said slowly. Jason's smile widened slightly. You finally see it, he said. See what? I demanded. He gestured toward my phone. Look closer. I forced my eyes back to the screen. The video zoomed slightly. My face came into clearer view. And that's when my heart stopped. Was me. But not exactly. The smile was. Different. Too smooth. Too controlled. Not something I would do. I dropped the phone. This is fake. Is it? Jason asked. Emily's voice came out shaky. That's the one I saw. I turned to her. What are you talking about? She looked terrified now. That's not you, she said. That's the other one. Silence crashed over everything. I shook my head. No, this is all messed up. He's messing with us. Jason sighed, almost disappointed. You're still thinking in terms of real and fake, he said. There's only one question that matters. He stepped closer. Close enough that I could see my reflection in his eyes. Which version are you? My breath caught. I'm me, I said, but it didn't sound convincing anymore. Are you? He asked softly. Behind me, Emily took another step back. Stay away from me, she said, not to him. Tui. That hurt more than anything. Emily, you know me, I said quickly. do I?" she whispered. Jason didn't interrupt this time. He just watched. Waiting. Observing. Like this was the part he cared about most. I looked between them, my thoughts spiraling. The video. The messages. The copy. The feeling of being watched. All of it crashed together into one terrifying possibility. "What did you do to me?" I asked. Jason shook his head. "I didn't do anything to you," he said. "I just made sure the better version stayed." My chest tightened. Stayed where? He smiled. Right here. The lights flickered again. Just once. And in that split second, saw it, another, standing near the bleachers, watching. The light steadied. Gone. But the damage was done. I wasn't sure anymore. Not about Jason. Not about Emily. Not even about myself. And the worst part, Jason looked completely satisfied. Like the experiment was finally complete. Like the version he wanted was already chosen.